The damage reduction on the V3 is now 50%. It previously was 40. The damage reduction on the V1 is now 70%. So this Vipers are going to be a lot tankier as we can immediately head over to Matab. And it's J-Team who are going to be finding the first fight of the match. BBE are going to be going up against them. Ice already on the ropes, not having been able to find armor, is going to get absolutely shredded by that Yoto F2 coming into play. Does have a blue staff, using the movement, just try and control the spacing around him, but he is going to go down to Fat Milk coming in with that Yushan app, and as a result it's now going to be numbers against J-Team. Ivan going incredibly low, has to be careful that he doesn't overcommit, throws out the F to be able to buy the spacing, and that allows Fat Milk with the dagger to be able to clean up both Lee and ZYL in the same blow. Is XCG, one of the teams who are expected to be doing a lot better than they have in this current season, are taking a fight currently against EWG. 9HQ is going to go down, 9's going to be able to clean that one up. Longsword vertical comes through. We actually get to see the Viper ultimate now come into play, and that should turn the tide for Kakaishi with that silence, not allowing the Takeda any opportunity with that Soul Bloom picked up to get the rage necessary to hit the ultimate and control all of the spacing around them.
Indeed, and we're jumping back to meta. BBE scrapping it out against JL. VVV, he's on the run. He's been forced to use his ultimate and his F here, but he seems as though he's made it out of immediate danger, turning his gaze onto Ivan. Now, Roy, he has joined the fight. Teammates scrapping it out. VVV's under a lot of pressure. The Ferry-year-old coming in to try and just take him down, try and use this turret stagger to lock him down and allow for his teammates to finish the job. But BBE, Ivan has lost a member now. Well, he with that Yoto F3 popping it out, perfect timing, catching them. TXJ forced to back away, knocked down by BBV. The Yueshan trying to peel for his teammate, trying to lock down One Fang so that he could get as much value out of this Yoto ult as he can, and he manages to do it. One Fang gets taken down now, 2v2 situation. TXJ almost has his Viper ult back up and running, but it is going to be really close, especially for Roy. He tries to climb onto the wall, clutching to it to potentially get a heal with his F3 protecting him, but unfortunately he does get taken down in the end, and JL are going to come away with 3 eliminations in this scrap-off. Very nicely done. This place, though, I have to say, this big room in the bottom of Metab, I'm surprised that there aren't more people here, just constantly griefing each other back-to-back, because that is Grief City, ladies and gentlemen. If you've played any Naraka in the last, I don't know, 6 months, you know that this place is just
oh yeah,
horrendous.
4 teams, like at minimum. Yeah. Always land Matab and try and play in that space. It's not 4 teams currently, so it's XCG versus Bowder. XCG getting the better end of that one, already dispatching 2 players from Bowder, and now just having to clean up the Yoda who hopped into that Furia V3 mech. Try and keep herself sustained once the ultimate was gone. XCG not going to be pulling any of their punches. One goes for the charge vertical on that Hengsword, the other goes for the light attack to make sure that Yuan has absolutely no options and will most definitely fall down. We said it was going to be a very aggressive start to the day, and it definitely is reflecting in terms of the amount of kills that players have picked up. Wolves, having dropped on City of Tang, have now been spooked away from Salvation Podium with one team, I believe it's FPX, getting to occupy that ballista before they're in position to be able to challenge it. Yeah, there it is. FPX wanting to be able to solve that puzzle. You can see that Dunkwing already has that legendary fan in the pocket. As Dunk says, the dealers do not allow you to buy legendary until, well, legendary armor until we go further on in the game. So that is 100% picked off of Salvation Podium. That's going to be really unfortunate for Wolves because they're running the Transformers. They've got the Monk. They needed the weapon to be able to properly scale up the damage on that ultimate if they wanted to be able to actually have any form of threat inside the realm of Yang. As we get to see J-Team now going up against JDG. Viper ultimate going to be coming out, immediately followed up by that Tessa V1 trying to lock all of these players in position. ZYL throws out the Yoto F to be able to sit safely in the middle of it when the enchantment window wears out. We actually see off of the back of that JDG through and all of their ultimates were not able to get a single pick and immediately pop that Wuchen teleport because they know that they cannot sit in the fight when the other team have ultimates that are better than them. BBE now and JL going toe-to-toe. Ivan already forced into that fairy mech, has to drop out of it. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to time the frame to be able to avoid the Tessa V1 stun, gets enchanted, and One Fang pulls it up with a musket shot straight through the spine to put him down, and that's going to be a clean fight coming through from JL. It's just Roy He on his lonesome. Does have the Yoda ultimate if he wants to try and use it to reposition. He might have to, as everyone from JL's on him. You can see the Yoda ultimate, the panic coming through. To add insult to injury, salt in the wounds, TXJ and VVV actually commits the Tessa V1 so that Roy He was either going to lose the ultimate because of the enchant window or have to jump cancel out of it, and as a result the Viper was just sitting there with the charge right click on the pulse or waiting to mince the Yoda when she fell, plummeting to the ground and unfortunately plummeting out of the lobby. BBE, that was their second life dunk. They're the first team eliminated.
Yes, indeed. Very sad to see, especially after their performance in the previous weeks. I feel like BBE's been getting better and better, and doing more and more each week, each bi-weekly. They've been figuring out the secret formula of NBPL, so to speak, and they've been performing extremely well. We're going to be heading over to this fight between FPX and EWG. Very aggressive opener coming out from EWG. The Tumulkol just being immediately committed. Dongxing forced to use his ultimate as well. The golden fan, no, pick it up! Okay, he got it. He got it. The blue focus scale rush went awry. It did get parried, and unfortunately he almost lost it. He almost lost that golden fan. I'm not gonna lie, you should just be going for these RMBs instead of going for these blue focus scale rushes with a golden fan. Golden Fan, it does have the fastest scale rush, but it's not the most damaging. It looks as though they've already lost a member, and on top of this, the Wolfpack Wolves has arrived, and Dongxing is going to be losing that Golden Fan that he so adamantly was holding on to, just trying to...
That's really ironic, because Wolves were the team, remember, that showed up to Salvation Podium wanting to solve the puzzle for that monk. And it's just the fan playing past the parcel. It might pass to another team as EG is falling incredibly low. JDG coming in with that third party. They don't know the situation when it comes to ultimates that Wolves have available to them because they showed up so late. They only saw Wolves looting bodies, so they don't get a read on whether or not the ultimates are there. They're going to actually force the Tianhai into that Fairy Mech to use the boosters and escape away from being punished when that V1 enchantment hits. And unfortunately, that means that Jam, who's the one left behind, and we can see JDG just immediately all-inning, trying to find that pick. Zedpick comes in for Tumult ultimate, is able to isolate, but unfortunately it's not enough. Jam does go down to the Viper F3. However, it's traded. JDG lose the Viper, and like you said, it forces the Wuchen teleport. The thing is, Wolves cannot chase because they had to invest the ultimates that they had available, and they're just going to back off and play it a little bit safe. Crucially, I think they kept a hold of the legendary fan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Having that golden fan is exactly what they want as this team composition. You know, we talk about Transformers being so dependent on scaling. And speaking of, we've got the traditional Transformers coming out here from Alliance, going up against JJH, who are running this sand mech, this variation that came about quite I can't remember how long ago, but it's been quite a while since we've seen them played. But with that Feria, Tumulk, and Monk, which hasn't been popped here just yet. I think they're trying to save it for the moment. Alliance Bow going for those grabs, trying to get as much value as he can. Flames having already committed that Tumulk ultimate. Godley now coming out of that Feria mech, popping that Monk ultimate. Doing a very good job of staggering these ultimates here. Lane He's not got all that much time left on his UA channel, but he has managed to get one more slam onto Chewy. The F3 comes in, the postal tech chase. He manages to find the kill. JJH now losing one member. Flames trying to stay alive, trying to take down Bo, and he manages to do so. And now Revenge gets grabbed up by Godley, and now it's Lane in a 1v2 situation up against a munked up Tianhai and a Flames who's now managed to regenerate all of his ult charge. And just says, hey, you know, screw it, I'm just gonna dump another ultimate on your face. No chance for you, big dog. And he does take them down. JJH coming away victorious from that Realm of Yang. And here as well, DRG coming away victorious in this fight, taking down JDG 2-tick, forcing JDG to commit that Wu Chen teleport. These Wu Chen ports, I have to say, in the past couple weeks, I feel like these Wu Chens has just been so on point with these ultimates. Actually, like they've been. I mean,
so you're gonna say that we're about to get a Wu Chen teleport into a whole new over again.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Wu Chen teleport.
Oh, Godly! Oh no, he wasn't able to iframe. He tried to go for the Monk transformation to iframe TXJ's Viper V1 ultimate, and unfortunately does not quite manage to time the window. And as a result, is going to be melted down before the ultimate can come through and get the health replenish. And now it's just going to be Flames sitting inside that Fairy Mat, getting absolutely barbecued by a team who've been able to get their hands on a Flamer. And Bo now comes on through. Alliance, one of those teams who lost the Realm of Yang. We saw them actually go up against JJH. This is rematch central. The only caveat is JL have invited themselves, but the third party, Bo's able to find a huge parry onto VVV, and the Wu Chen teleport, oh, it's perfectly on point. It just bails them out before their kill goes down, and instead Alliance turn their full ire onto the players of JJH. That is going to be potentially them all cleansed. Yes, they're all cleansed of the Yang depletion. Absolutely huge from them. They do know, however, that JL invested that Wu Chen teleport, so now Alliance with two ultimates in the back pocket can actually spread out and try and hunt down where that... Oh, they're not all cleansed. Someone from jail was able to grab a soul bloom before they teleported out.
Rough. That is rough for Alliance, especially on this transformer composition. At this point in the game, you don't necessarily want to be looking for all that many fights unless you have that Vermilion Bird's Might to fall back on, where you can take a fight without really worrying about going back to the lobby. And that's very unfortunate for Alliance. They're going to have to see if they can force something out, potentially find a good third-party opportunity to secure a Soul Bloom for themselves. Or another thing that they might try and look to do is just consolidate their money and let their Yang depletion member die to something and buy them back as soon as possible. But we're going to have to wait and see. For now, we've got JDG fighting against DRG. Oh my lord, ZDI just getting absolutely obliterated. Sent into the blender, ladies and gentlemen. Say goodbye to JDG. The remaining members quickly falling down. There's no Wu Chen port to take them to safety here, as well as the 3-ban zone being popped. The Fox Altar being utilized very well by DRG. They create themselves an advantage in the fight and then prevent the enemy team from using any of those.
Oh, they're leaving the bloom. They're leaving the bloom to bait teams of Yang depletion to come and try and pick the body.
But is that really the... I mean, they could
I mean, either that or they can have it stashed to double back on and get the ultimate charge. Because it does look like they actually saw wolves and immediately grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like EG is coming in with the challenge, has to get out of that no ult zone. He does have the transformation available to him, but wolves are not in a position where they need to cleanse the Yang depletion. Alliance unfortunately looks like they weren't able to cleanse lane. They are, like you said, just gonna buy him back with rebirth charms to get him back into play. DRG, however, have spotted that this Transformers team is not taking a fight. Wolves tried to kite over to Salvation Podium to deter DRG from taking this space because of that ballistic control. Tmoch gets left behind, does have that ultimate, will be able to pop it, and we can see that a ballista shot does come through, but unfortunately, it does just mean that Wolves have invested all of this in being able to just isolate themselves further from DRG, and the second that Tumultuous Ultimate is down, they're now just relying on Ballista, which DRG should maybe be able to rotate around into blind spot. Wolves have to be very careful that their ferry doesn't stay too far separated from the rest of their team, get locked onto once they get challenged on that Ballista, and wisely decides to rotate away, allowing DRG the control of the space. And I do believe the Spirit World just spawned up there as well. So this should be DRG's for the taking, at least for now, because everyone can see the Thunderdome, and anyone can challenge into it if they so wish. They do have to be careful though, because WFC does have that legendary fan, which I feel has passed between so many of these players that we've seen so far today.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thunderdome. It looks like DRG is going to go uncontested in this battle. I'm rather surprised, though, to be honest.
For us getting to actually see the cinematic pan-out angle, just that helicopter POV. Nope, they get it for absolute free, and they get to scoop all of the loot.
It's kind of cool as well, though, that it just all spawns on the floor as opposed to spawning in a Morris Blessing. And I have to say, I was very confused when I first saw this happen. When I saw that there's a little gold thing that spawns in the middle, and it's a rebirth charm. I was like, what is that? Is it a visual bug? What am I looking at? And then I realized that it was a rebirth charm spawning on the floor, and because you only buy them out of shops, you never see them as a lootable object. I was rather confused, but that is what that is for any of you who were a little bit confused as to what you were looking at. But here we have FPX taking a fight, the opposing team teleporting away with that Wu Chen port, taking them out of danger. Even though Dongxing was very, very close to death, they did end up disengaging in this fight here. We've got Alliance,
they get spotted, though.
They may have spotted them out of the bush. I'm not sure if they happen to have a bounty going. I don't think there is. They just
I think Alliance just wanted to spy check. Yeah. Because Alliance rolled up late, saw the purple invisibility bush, did not want to chance it because they saw wolves around as well. So they're like, if we take a fight against wolves, we need to make sure the purple bushes are clear so that we don't get third-party surprised. They also don't know the state of the ultimates that FPX have because they showed up late, so they don't know that the Sand Siphon did not actually have those ultimates available to them. So you can have a look at a replay of this Realm of Yang. This is going to be JL versus EWG. VVV coming in with the Tessa. This is a composition we don't actually normally see into the Realm of Yang. Throws out the Tessa V1, which then teleports away. We get the Dreadful Whale lockdown coming on through. So far, no kills have come out. Viper ultimate now starts to come into play to lock some of these players down. Kurumi's going to throw the ultimate to try and keep healed up. This is the V1, so we do actually see the stun onto the Kurumi, and VVV is able to, with the knockback on the Hang Sword, push the Kurumi out of her ultimate, and she's still hit into the 5-second stun window, so she can't recast the ultimate and move it to where the Hang Sword's positioning her. Huge brain coming through from JL.
Very nicely done. And ooh, very nice. We're actually going to get a look at what these players are taking into the game with their glyphs here. Let's go. Hey, is there a chance that we could have a look at that one more time? Just because
the Viper is running red path, 20% damage reduction, and then green path skill CD reduction.
And Wu Chen was running green and blue, I think it was. So the Wu Chen is being forced to take that discount, I think, the luck discount coins.
Oh, well, here's the new cave rule, which is all of the caves get a Morris Blessing inside them.
Yes, indeed. And this is one of the only ways that you can get yourself a golden weapon now, as well as the Realm of Yang. So beforehand, right, you could go to the Morris Blessings and go to the Realms of Yang, and there were stashes, there were caves, right? But you had to get lucky and find the golden frog.
Yeah.
And to get this key to be able to open up the cave. But now you can buy these cave keys in the shop. And I'm not exactly sure how much they are, but they're only available at a specific point in the game once a a certain amount of time has passed, you're able to purchase them, but they appear on the map for everyone to see, just like normal. So you have to be careful when you do buy one and do go for this cave. But if you do get one, if you do buy one of those keys from the shop, then you're going to be able to get yourself a golden weapon. And so essentially it's a much easier way of getting yourself a golden weapon now. If you're a team that's not looking to go into that realm of Yang, you're not looking to contest those Yangs, because it is that much more of a risk now. The Yang is now the risk that it was supposed to be. I feel like it sort of got to a point where the risk of going into the realm of Yang was largely mitigated by just simply being able to store these soul blooms in certain locations after taking down a team. But now that the soul blooms have a timer on them and that they do expire after 2 minutes, you can't do that anymore, and you have to take that risk. This is so goofy. So this is a certain interaction when you're doing a certain animation, like opening a Morris, or doing just sort of like an animated emote. You can swap between your weapons, and you get this sort of goofy animation where you're still doing the animation, but you're swapping weapons during. And if any of you were confused about that one, but here we are,
FPX.
grabbing themselves that Morris blessing inside the cave. I'm not sure
but they
what
have to
they
be
managed
careful,
to do
because the cave like shows up on the map, and players are gonna have spotted that was a cave that was inside the zone.
But that was the one that was already opened by a different team. Oh, that was the one that
DRG opened previously?
Yeah, but they were pressured off of it.
So I have to abandon the Mars. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, JL have control of Ballista. JL also absolutely cracked when it comes to loadouts. Cracked shot as well coming on through from VVV on that Ballista, able to connect, getting covered by Dreadful Whale as well, so no one can interrupt the Tesla and knock them off of that Ballista with a ranged shot. Coming through from the low ground as Bane's Breath starts to settle in, and all of these teams start to slow down. So the transform it's really important. Ooh, what do we get? Red and blue. Okay,
red and blue,
so Rage and Discount.
Red and blue again.
Rage and Discount, and then for Feria, Rage and Discount. Okay, so that is going to be a lot of discount, because that 8% that you can achieve when you go for that blue path is stackable.
So
I mean, that makes sense that the Transformer teams like take the discount, because they know that they're the compositions that probably arguably the most need the better gear as quickly as possible. Oh, here we go. Cinematic Thunderdome.
Let's go.
Right, done. Take it away.
Thunderdome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just joking. 3, 2, 1, fight! And we've got Wolves and XCG looking to contest this this dome of goldness. We've got the so this, for those of you who don't know, who haven't tried out the Immortal War since they made these changes, this dome isn't just for aesthetics. It isn't just to make it look very fancy and nice. It actually blocks incoming projectiles. So any team that's outside of this dome, if they try and shoot into the dome, they try to shoot the people inside who are trying to unlock this all these goodies, they all of the projectiles get blocked by that wall. Therefore, you have to go in and you have to fight it out. So
yeah, but the same rule doesn't apply for the teams inside it, right? Because you can shoot from the inside out, which, if you think about it, is really strong for Feria. No, you can.
Can you? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that seems a little silly. I'm not gonna lie. That seems a little bit silly. I feel like that might be an oversight, or perhaps it was deliberate. But
they saw the other team run away, and they were like, "Oh, sweet, free damage." And that's why, the other team had to fully reposition. Like, they full commit Wu Chen teleported right out of that, because they knew that the Feria would be able to get parting cannonball shots.
I mean, I was under the impression that it was just because they didn't want to go inside. They didn't want to go in with that Feria in there and then just get caught in the close range turret shots.
I mean, true, you don't want that to happen either. Especially because she can use the cannon activation to push you outside of the Thunderdome. And then you won't be able to damage her back. We do have Bane currently coming for Wolves. Ooh, dancing on the edge. Next Spirit Well is forming on through. Are we going to see, or rather that was just a Kurumi ultimate. I'm so used to seeing the gold and being like, ah yes, Spirit Well time. No. As we're gonna have JJH's Godly sitting inside that Fairy Mech, putting pressure onto Wolves, trying to force ultimates that once he's outside of this, he's not the one that gets turned on to. Wolves trying to do the exact same thing, looking to put pressure onto Bauda and forcing a mech up from Yiran. As EG goes aerial, goes for the cannon shots, ousts JJH from this high ground position and keeps putting pressure onto both of those two players. Has to be careful that he doesn't go too far. Tries to go for another cannonball. Unfortunately gets staggered out of it by a Pharaoh already in the cannonball state before he can activate it. And it's now forced to take cover and scale rush away to reposition as Bauda. Yuan's mech will last a lot longer than Wolves' own. All that does is paint a target on the Farrier mech, however, as JJH have used it to track down where the player is, and Yuan goes down. His two teammates decided it was better to sacrifice him and have the other two remain unspotted and unobserved by everyone else in the lobby. That might cost them in the long run, though, because I do believe that is their monk player.
This is getting at much more close quarters now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot of players in a very small space. It looks as though Alliance is being forced into that Monk ultimate alongside JJH. Godley with that golden weapon. If he does manage to secure himself a grab, he is going to be doing some heavy damage. However, finding a grab in this kind of environment might be a little bit difficult, as we see this cliff face, all of these little nooks and crannies on the buttery rocks. It might be difficult to find something, but it looks as though he has managed to do so. Godley does find the grab, but unfortunately DRG WFZ is going to snipe it away, and the grab, no less, was onto JLVVV. So getting stunned up. Corki taking a lot of damage. The zipping ultimate having been popped preemptively, saving his life. Thankfully, he is going to be able to remain on his feet. But TXJ now running around with this pulse sword is being pressured by a different Viper. That V3 coming through, preventing any of these players from using their cooldowns. But it doesn't look as though it's going to lead to much. But as I say that, XCG are going to come in and absolutely obliterate them, doing so much damage with these cannons, these projectiles doing absolute work. JL, though, having lost a member yet again, trying to get their hands in the cookie jar, trying to get into the mix here. Godley spawning up that Tianhai ultimate, looking for some more of these grabs, but he's getting melted very, very quickly, already losing the majority of his health. You're gonna need to deform, big dog. That is a lot of damage, and this is why we don't see all that much Monk in the meta without the Kurumi. If you don't have the Kurumi to keep you topped up, it can be extremely hard to stay alive once you've used that transformation. But we do have another grab here coming out from Wolves, but they do get immediately teleported away. But he gets the grab again onto a Wu-Chen, and it gets followed up by his teammate, the dagger coming through, confirming that elimination for Wolves, picking up another one. The sand is in my eyes. Oh my good lord, I can't see what's going on. The Tumult ultimates coming through, doing a lot, splitting this zone in so many different ways. It's like a Venn diagram right now. We've got the Farrier ults coming out now, scrapping each other, scrapping against each other, knocking each other away. Pacific Rim, just the machine guns coming out, the Yuashuns. I can't even see what's going on, honestly. It's just
I
Chue
think
getting
JL
caught
winning.
on the side of the... He just like,
Honestly.
goodbye, good sir. Wolves dominating this end game now. We do have a Farrier mech, another Farrier mech ready to go. EG gonna be jumping right back in. Flames getting pressure now, taking a bunch of damage. Has no ultimate to his name, unfortunately. That golden pole sword is not gonna do all that much for him if he can't find opportunities to do the damage. He does just get taken down. Godlane now, he's being pressured again. He doesn't have very much HP left to his name. His ultimate almost up, but he's not gonna have a chance to use it. Revenge is gonna take him down with the fan. Alliance still in this fight. They do have their Yueshan ult ready to go. The Tumult ult coming down. He might be forced to use it here, but he's trying to save it as long as he can so that he can reset his health bar in this final zone. And here it is. He pops that ultimate. Alliance Revenge is going to go down to XEM. Wolves, they may have lost their first place placement here. And VVV, the man who died at the very beginning of it all, comes away with the first place position and takes it home, but I'm not sure.
For JL to be MVP, yeah, it is.
They're
So
actually going to get MVP as well?
Yeah,
Oh
it's not even that
Lord.
crazy. When you were like, I don't know what's going on, I was like, I think JL is gonna win this.